Jay and Tatum, I am coming to you live from the West Texas Sports Banquet, and coming up after the break, we will hear from Mr. Bill Buckner, former Major Leaguer. Stay with us. Good evening, everyone. I am coming to you live from the Midland Country Club. It is the West Texas Sports Banquet tonight. Lots of people in the house. You can hear the plates, forks kind of starting to tinker a little bit because dinner is just being served. I have standing with me right now former Major Leaguer Bill Buckner. So is this your first time to Midland? What brings you here tonight?
Well, Bob Richardson, one of the owners of the team, good friend of mine in Boise, and he invited me down, and I'm just nice to be here. I've been spending some time in Texas. I had a son that went to Texas A&M, Corpus Christi, so spent quite a bit of time in Texas watching him play in the last few years.
Yes, Midland, very different than Corpus Christi. We don't have all that humidity, which I know the ladies love for the hair purposes. So now, you've spent a lot of time in the majors, and spring training is just kicking off. What is your favorite spring training memory that you have?
I would say probably just my first spring training, just being down there and being around major league players that I had watched growing up and watched on television, and then all of a sudden I'm in the same locker room with them. That's probably the most exciting thing.
Now, it's really special for you. You're from California, grew up there, then you got drafted by the Dodgers. What was that like, kind of being drafted by the California team?
Well, actually, I was pretty depressed when I got drafted by the Dodgers because from Northern California, I was a huge Giants fan, and that was a big rivalry. And so it took a while to adjust, probably a month or so, but I had Tommy Lasorda as my manager, so he had us bleeding Dodger blue pretty quick.
And that Dodger blue, I think, is a little better looking than that orange and black. I just got to say. So you spent some time with the Dodgers, and then eventually you ended up with the Red Sox. What was it like after spending time with certain clubs and then getting traded? Is that a hard adjustment for a baseball player?
Well, it was, it was the big adjustment was going from the National League to the American League, and the style of play, the strike zones, but. Baseball's baseball, and it took a while to adjust, but it was a good change. Got to see new cities, new ballparks, and create a little more enthusiasm.
Speaking of that change, Houston Astros moving from the National League to the American League. I'm an Astros fan, and boy, that's going to be rough. But how has baseball changed for you in the 20 years since you've been retired?
Well, I coached for 6 years after I finished playing with Toronto and the White Sox, and then it took 8 or 9 years off when my kids were growing up. Coached Little League and went through all that, and then the kids are out of school, so I've gotten back into it. And the athletes, the kids are great athletes now, and the technology, the training. I'm with the Cubs now as a minor league hitting coach, and the people that we have working in the organization now, that it's gotten so technical, the way they train and work out and control them, and all the video for hitting, and I mean it's just different.
All right, well, I know our own Jay Hendricks will love it that you are with the Cubbies. That is his team, poor man. We'll have more coming up for you tonight at 10 from the West Texas Sports Banquet. We'll hear from the new Rockhounds manager coming up tonight at 10, like I said. Reporting live from Midland, I am Whitney Harding. There's more to come at 6. Stay with us.